Well, hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today, as always, I bring you the review of this week's chapter of the 7 Deadly Sins 177 of its name, What I Can Give to You. And you remember how last video I said, well, now things will go on the right track. Well, if I meant by that things were going totally down south, then I was correct. If I thought that things would be any different than the last few chapters, then I was wrong. Because this chapter saw not only the death of Meliodas, also the death of Ban, and probably the demise of all Britannia kingdom. And I ask, what was the point? Because this chapter begins right after the last one, with Ban helping Meliodas up, and all the demons realizing the death of Merasilem, and Esterosa saying that even though he's thankful to Ban, he would have killed her himself. And then all of a sudden, he goes and stabs Meliodas in one of his hearts, because as he claims, Meliodas' death must come by his own hand. And all of a sudden he summons 6 other swords in a technique called rebellion, and he starts explaining that all demons, all superior demons have 7 hearts. I don't know if Ban was able to take any of his hearts, but I don't think so, because his fingers seem to be broken or something. He used Fox Hunt, and I believe he was attempting to steal Esterosa's hearts, but he failed. So that's a good start. But then Esterosa just starts pummeling Meliodas' second heart. Then Ben grabs him and tries to break his neck, but Esterosa is too goddamn powerful. Third heart's gone, 4th, 5th. Ban tries to steal Esterosa's power, but he gets beefed up with more and more power, and Esterosa doesn't budge. It's like the fighting festival all over again, where Ban tried to steal Meliodas' power, but Meliodas' power is just a bottomless pit. And then Esterosa gets to the 6th heart, and Ban really loses it. And Esterosa is crying when he pierces Meliodas' last heart. And he does it. He pierces all of Meliodas' 7 hearts, thus killing Meliodas. And then, to top it all up, to put the cherry on top of the cake, Ban explodes in 1,000,000 pieces. More than 1,000,000 pieces. Trillions of little bloody messy pieces. There's nothing left of Ban after this. So before I go on, 2 things. Now, we all know that Ban and Meliodas are not dead. How could they be? They are 2 of the main characters of the series, so therefore it would be stupid for them to die. Second, if they indeed die, then it might as well as end the series now, because there's no one powerful enough to make face to face with Esterosa, let alone the other demons. Let us just focus on Esterosa now. Esterosa seems to be powerful enough for the other 8 commandments. So yeah, there's really the only downside to Esterosa is that he can't be everywhere at once, because if he could be everywhere at once, he alone would be more than enough to take over Britannia. Now, actually, I'll leave this thought for the end of the chapter. Let us move on. So yes, and now Esterosa claims that with Meliodas dead, Britannia is now for the demon tribes to conquer, and so they abandon the site and start the and start the show, as they call it, for the Dominion of Britannia. And as all of the ones who know Meliodas grieve his death, Elizabeth asks Gilfrost to take her, to teleport her to where the battle was happening. And this is the second thing that I think shouldn't, well, it didn't actually serve the purpose in this chapter, but hopefully it will serve in the next chapter. She finds Meliodas' dead body and cries over it. And this is a terrifying sight. Meliodas with all those knives striking him. It's just a terrifying sight, really. It's one of those things that you never expect to see until you actually see it. Because I believe it is the first time we've seen Meliodas beaten up before in the Seven Deadly Sins, true. But what I think it's most terrifying in this place is that in the last few chapters, we've seen Meliodas in a very weak position. And I believe that was indeed the first time where we've seen Meliodas in such a sorry position. Yes, against Garam, he was pretty helpless as well. But this time, he was alone. And of course, he was against 9 of the commandments. It was more of a task than anyone could take. But still, there was that slight residue of hope we all had that Meliodas and Ban together would be able to turn the situation around. Um, so yes, and the chapter just reaches its end with probably day breaking and Elizabeth crying over Meliodas' body, and just this sentence: "Our hero falls." And the name of the next chapter 178, Dark Britannia. Now, I said a few chapters ago, I believe it was 2 chapters ago, let me see. Yes, I said in the 174 video that I was hoping that the 175 chapter would be something related to Elizabeth going towards the battlefield and awaken her druid powers. That ended up not being true, because the to my beloved Meliodas phrase was actually referring to Esther Rosa. So now, the fact that Elizabeth has gone there, I want to believe that it will have more of an impact than just for us to see her grieving. I want her powers to awake. I know it will be a little bit cheaty for her to just resurrect Meliodas and Ban out of thin air, especially Ban, because I don't know if his immortality allows him to regenerate from that. Because yes, if he loses an arm, he grows another. But I just don't know if he'll survive being ripped to little pieces. As for Meliodas, I was thinking about something right now. What if Esther Rosa is not a bad guy? What if Esther Rosa is playing the commandments? Because there's something that's been bugging me for ever since we've seen Esther Rosa appear. If you guys remember, Meliodas' wanted poster from the beginning of the series is actually Esther Rosa's face. Why was that? Who issued the posters? Yes, we might think that it was the demon that took over Dreyfus that actually issued the posters and gave the instructions for the posters to be drawn, and he gave instructions to Esther Rosa's face. Or it could be that Esther Rosa is more than we've seen so far. He may be playing the commandments as to lure them into a false sense of security, so that then he can join his brother and help him. I don't know. It is a very stretched out idea. I know. To have another demon betraying the commandments would feel, well, not to have another demon, but Meliodas is a traitor already to the commandments. To have another one would seem like, okay, yes, it's the brotherly thing. But seriously, I don't see any other chance for them to get away with this. Now the demons are loose on Britannia, and as the name of the next chapter implies, we will see the after effects of those of that happening. Or when the demons get loose, Britannia will suffer a lot. So I don't know. Maybe next chapter will advance a little bit time-wise, and then we'll get to see the story from the viewpoint of the demons for a little while, until we finally go back and realize what happened with the commandments and the other fighters of the festival. So this was this week's chapter of the Seven Deadly Sins. Really, it's a shorter video from usual, 12 minutes, not bad. But I gotta say, when the festival started, I knew it would never get to its end. As with most festivals in other mangas, they rarely get to the ending. But I never imagined that it would end like this, especially with Meliodas and Ban's death. But I guess we gotta see. Next Monday's nearly here, and we'll have to wait and see. So that's it for this week's video of the 7 Deadly Sins. As I said in the fairy tale video, next Monday do not expect videos because it's holiday here in Portugal and it's my cousin's birthday. So I will be out of home and I will not have a possibility to record. But Tuesday, you have my word, you'll get the videos on Tuesday point. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please share your opinion of this chapter with me in the comment section down below, as well as your opinion about the video's quality and my performance and my overall performance. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.